Hi, and welcome back to another video here with me. And thank you so much for joining me for this short-ish flow together. And I'm very happy to be back, very excited to be back. And it took me so long to set up the space and get going. And I was getting increasingly frustrated. So I definitely need this practice a lot. And maybe you need it a lot also. So yeah, just thank you so much for being here on this sunny day with me. And so our practice today is about a kind of lightness of spirit. Often I find that I come to my yoga mat to sometimes feel a little bit lighter, to let go of some stuff physically, mentally, and emotionally, kind of feel lighter through the physical body, but also feel lighter on a, energetic, emotional, spiritual, even level. And our days can be tough, our weeks can be stressful, and life can be really difficult. And sometimes we come to our mat as a kind of respite from all of that. And this isn't to say that your practice will just make you feel better and that there's a permanent change that's going to happen and you're just going to feel happy and light and bright forever. Like, that's not reality, sadly. But I still think it's okay to want to come to the mat to alleviate some pain, to alleviate a little bit of suffering, and to perhaps just feel just a tiny bit brighter, 10% brighter. And maybe that doesn't last throughout the whole rest of your day or your week or your month or whatever it may be, or the next 10 minutes after you finish this class, but you've taken this time to try and alleviate some of the heaviness that you are holding and feeling. So yeah, with that, we're going to get started. And I hope that the audio is okay throughout this practice. I'm using different AirPods, so you'll have to just bear with me, but I hope it's all right. And we're just going to start seated. We're just going to ground into our seat. I've got a block underneath my sit bones because I like to raise my hips a little bit. You could sit on a cushion, a pillow. You could sit straight down on your mat. And we're just going to ground in. So just finding a seat and just placing your palms, your hands onto your thighs, onto your knees, and resting them face down. You can close down your eyes as I am doing if that feels comfortable or safe in the space that you're in, or maybe just taking this really soft, unfocused gaze down in front of you. If your eyes are open, just softening that gaze, noticing if the eyes are darting around the room, if they're focusing on things, and find this sense of unfocused looking. And you've arrived. You've made it. You're here. You're on your mat. You're in your practice. The hardest part is done now. You've decided to unroll your mat. You've decided to carve out this time. And you've decided to show up for yourself. You've made it. And maybe you're feeling heavy, burdensome, low, in pain, suffering, but you've still made it. You've still arrived. And maybe with that knowing, the corners of your lips just turn up towards the sky, a little smile on your face. And just notice how that smile on your face affects the rest of the body. Maybe that smile feels like very difficult to do. But just perhaps notice a tiny little glimmer of something, maybe in the heart space around the chest, maybe in the tummy. This tiny little glimmer of some sort of joy, of lightness, just from lifting up the corners of your mouth into a smile. Gifting yourself this time to feel light, to step away from it all. And we're just going to drop into our breath together. So taking 2 releasing breaths, and inhale through the nose. Exhale a gentle sigh out through the mouth. Let it go. Let the day go. Inhale through the nose. And exhale a sigh out through the mouth. Let's just do one more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale a gentle sigh out through the mouth. Let it go. And just drop into your breath. Feel your breath. Listen to your breath. Notice your breath. Use your breath to carve out space. Use your breath to create this bubble around you and your mat. This bubble of lightness. Leaving any suffering, any pain just outside of this bubble, just off of your mat. And your breath anchors you here, inside the center of this bubble. And you can open your eyes, or you can just keep them closed as we come into some movement, just interlacing your hands. I'll turn myself around, interlacing your hands, pressing the backs of the palms away from you. So you're rounding through the upper part of your back, the upper part of the heart space, the shoulders. You can keep the eyes closed. Drop into sensation, keep going with your breath. On your next inhale, drawing that interlace up over your head, opening up through the heart. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Breathe up and down the right side of the body. Big side body stretch. Making sure that right sit bone is still planted into the mat. Inhale through center. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Breathe up and down the left side of the body. Can you plant that left sit bone a little bit more into the mat? Inhale back through center. Exhale, flip the palms, turn them away from you. So the backs of your hands are facing you, rounding through the back. Maybe chin tucks into chest just a little bit. Breathe into what you can feel, into sensation, dropping out of the mind and dropping into the body. On your next inhale, draw the interlace up over your head. Exhale, let's lean over to the right this time. Breathe up and down the left side of the body. Really nice. Inhale back through center. Exhale, leaning over to the left, breathing up and down the right side of the body. Inhale back through center. Exhale, release the backs of your hands down towards your lap. Palms face up towards the sky. Close down your eyes. Drop into that tingling. Drop into that sensation through the arms, that shifting of energy underneath the surface of your skin. And they say that our palms and our hands are an extension of our heart. So can you imagine that this energy from the center of your chest, your heart, is just permeating and rippling down your arms all the way to your palms, to your fingers? This lightness, this energy, a subtle joy. And then interlacing your hands behind your back now, just opening up through the heart, maybe pressing the palms together. And you could perhaps gently sway side to side. I sometimes like doing this. It is quite strong through the back of the shoulders though. And just notice if tension is coming up into the face. Can you soften through the jaw, through the forehead? Maybe you're staying in stillness. Maybe you're just gently swaying side to side with me. Let's take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release. Let's roll over the knees and find our tabletop together. You might have come into this position a million times before. Let's stack hips over knees. Let's place the palms underneath the shoulders. Once you've found your space, your shape, let's drop into some just simple cat-cows. Inhale, drop belly, open through the heart. And exhale, rounding through the spine, chin tucks into the chest. Imagine your heart is guiding this movement. Inhale, dropping belly, rippling open through the front line of the body. Heart shines up. And exhale, moving from your heart, chin tucks into chest, rounding through the spine, cat pose. One more time together. Inhale, drop belly, open through heart. And exhale, rounding through the spine, chin tucks into chest, curling under the toes, sending your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We've made it, we've arrived. Another pose you've perhaps been in many, many times before. Just go straight into some free movement here. Wiggle, sway, stay in stillness, a shaking of the head, yes, no, a swaying out of the hips, a shifting of weight from side to side, a bending through one knee then the other. Make it yours. Yawn into the sides of the body. Notice any stickiness, any tightness, any heaviness, any discomfort through the physical body. That's totally normal. This is a strong pose. Downward facing dog, it's an inversion. And keep breathing into what you can feel, and then gently, 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 we're coming to stillness. On your next inhale, reach that right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and let's hold it here for a moment. We often rush through this three-legged posture, this shape, and let's just hold it here. Maybe you point that right foot, maybe you flex the right foot. Breathe into the back of the left leg. My left calf and hamstring is speaking to me. One more inhale here. Exhale, let's just do a tiger curl here, right knee to nose, inhale. And exhale, push that leg up and back, three-legged, beautiful. Inhale here, bringing it forward. And exhale, coming into a low lunge, drop your left knee down, drawing yourself up into your low lunge, fingertips up towards the sky. Maybe there's a tiny little back bend, an opening through the heart. This back bend can come from your eyes. Take the gaze up. Just making sure you're not completely dumping into the lower back, which I also have a tendency to do. You're zipping up through the inner thighs, zipping up through the center line of the body, this opening through the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, just as we've been doing. Open through the heart, through the chest. Let's breathe here. Let's stay. And this is strong. Even though our left knee is on the ground, it's strong. It's energizing. We're opening through the heart. Maybe there's a little smile. Inhale here. And exhale, frame that right foot. Step back to your high plank. Let's hold it for a moment. Drawing the pit of the belly, your belly button up towards your spine, zipping in and up. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find stillness here. Settle into complete stillness. Resist the urge to fidget, to move, to shift. Let energy, let sensation just pass through you, in and around you, in and around this bubble that you're in. You're in the center of it all, this movement, this stuff. On your next inhale, reach the left leg up and back, three-legged dog, and we'll hold it here again. Maybe flexing, maybe pointing that left foot, maybe playing around with a flex and a point. Really nice. Allow the crown of the head to drop towards the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, tiger curl, left knee to nose, draw it in, round through the upper part of the back, take it slow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, stepping that left foot through between the hands, coming into that low lunge on the other side, right knee down, peeling your arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, we soften through shoulders, through face, zipping up through the thighs, the midline of the body. Fingertips are engaged. There's a tiny little back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, maybe one finger along, funky interlace. Inhale, open through the heart. Exhale, soften through face. And we breathe. Can you pull that interlace up and away from the body? Smile. Feel. One more inhale. And exhale, framing that front left foot. We step back to that high plank. We hold it here. We pause in center. Draw your belly button up towards the spine. Inhale here. And exhale, taking the hips up and back to our downward facing dog. Allow the crown of the head to drop towards the mat. Let's take an inhale through the nose together. And exhale, a gentle sigh out through the mouth. Let it go. Pressing so much through your palms, coming up onto your tippy toes, tiptoe your way towards the top of the mat to meet your wrists, to meet your hands. Can the hands stay plugged in? Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, refold. Take your feet super wide as your hips, or wider. Find that interlace behind your back again. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, refold, refinding that interlace. Allow the crown of the head to drop towards the mat. Imagine there's this weight on the crown of your head pulling you down, pulling you deeper into the fold. Maybe you're imagining that your nose is coming to touch your legs. That's not the goal or the objective, just the kind of intention of movement. Maybe there's a sway side to side, breathing into the backs of the legs, tightness through the hamstrings. One more inhale here. And exhale, just allow your hands to hang heavy, releasing that bind, feeling that ripple and surge of energy once more from the shoulders, from the heart to the fingers. Feet are hip width apart, ground down through the four corners of the feet. We're slowly unraveling. Take it slow, 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 slower than you've moved before, slower than feels natural. Almost like a little rag doll. Your upper body is heavy, coming up through every single vertebrae up to standing, rolling the shoulders back. Reaching your arms up over your head to prayer. Take your gaze to that prayer, maybe a tiny back bend. Exhale, bring that prayer down to heart center, standing tall at the top of the mat, hands at prayer at heart center. Close down the eyes, take a moment. Notice where the mind has gone. Notice if the thoughts have crept in. Notice if judgment, if criticism of self has crept in. Let it go. It doesn't need to be here right now. Step back into this bubble in the center. You are in the center of this bubble, rather. This bubble surrounding you and your mat. Your body, your breath is all that matters for the rest of this practice, for this moment. We're finding a lightness. We're finding an alleviation from pain, suffering, discomfort just for a moment. We're taking a respite from the day-to-day. On your next inhale, reach that prayer up over your head, grow tall. Exhale, refold all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, a halfway lift. And exhale, refold, plant the palms, step back to your high plank. Hold it here for a moment. Bring your right hand to the middle of the mat. Side plank on the right side. You're welcome to drop that right knee, peeling left fingertips up towards the sky, or maybe taking left arm up over the ear. Breathing here, side body strong. Inhale. Exhale, using your belly button to turn yourself back to center, high plank, find center, find stability. Left hand to the middle of the mat, rolling onto the knife edge of the left foot, reaching your right fingertips up towards the sky, or maybe up over the ear. Can you lift the hips a little bit higher? Breathe, grow long, strong. One more inhale. Exhale, drawing yourself back to center, high plank. We're all going to drop our knees down, untuck the toes, engaging through the core, feel it hugging into center, and then exhale, slowly, chin and chest come down towards the mat, hug elbows in. Inhale is a halfway, not a halfway lift. Inhale's our cobra. And exhale, let's just ripple back down. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, ripple up to your cobra. Exhale, ripple back down, almost like a wave movement here. Inhale, rippling up towards your cobra. And exhale, rippling back down, curl under the toes, push yourself up and back. Downward facing dog, beautiful. Let's take it to the back of the mat. Take your hands towards your feet at the back of the mat. Taking it a little bit faster this time. Ground down through four corners of the feet, rolling up. Root to rise. Take your prayer up over your head, grow tall, gaze to hands. And exhale, refold all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. Then take yourself back to your downward facing dog. Take a moment here, notice, check in. How does this dog feel in comparison to that first one of our practice? Notice pockets of space, openings through the body. On your next inhale, rise, right leg up to the sky, three-legged. Exhale, right knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, right foot comes towards the right thumb. Warrior one, ground down the back edge of the back foot into the mat. A bend through that right knee. We're reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Hips are facing forward like you've got these headlights on your hips. Nice. Ground down through both feet. Strong. Spread the toes out onto the mat. Connection to earth. Inhale here. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Have your right thumb on top this time. Inhale, open through heart, through chest. Exhale, humble warrior, body to the inside of the right leg. Maybe you want to heel toe that right foot out a little bit to the right side. I like to give my right hip some space. Play around with the placement of your feet. You're not stuck in the mud. You can move about. Find a shape, a pose that works for you. Draw that interlace up over your head. Soften through the muscles in the face. You've got this. Breathe. Strengthen your legs. Crown of the head is dropping towards the earth. Can you release a little bit more through the neck, through the jaw? Perhaps pressing the palms together up over your head. Wobbles are welcome. Nice. Inhale, a little halfway lift through the chest, coming onto the ball of that left foot. Hands stay where they are, warrior three. Weight into that right foot, flexing through the left foot, drawing that interlace away from you. If this interlace feels too uncomfortable, then take your hands to prayer at heart center. That's all cool, all groovy. Strong through the right leg. If you're wobbling, if you're shaking, I am too, you're in the right place. Breathe. One more inhale here. And exhale, dropping the left toes down towards the mat, keeping the interlace if possible. High lunge with the interlace. Inhale here, open through the heart. Exhale, release the hands up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, cactus the arms, opening up through the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, easy twist, left hand down, peeling right fingertips up to the sky, open. And exhale, framing that front right foot, step back to your high plank, move through your vinyasa. High to low or knees, chest, chin. Inhales are up dog, our cobra, open through heart. Squeeze your bottom. And exhale, push the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And let's take an inhale through the nose together. And exhale a sigh out through the mouth. Coming onto the left side now. Inhale, reaching left leg up to the sky, free-legged. Exhale, left knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, re-extend. You've got this. Exhale, left foot comes towards your left thumbs. Ground down the back edge of the back foot into the mat. Warrior one. Hips are facing forward. Sparking your fingertips up to the sky. You've landed. You've made it. You're all good. Inhaling here. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back, left thumb on top this time. Inhale, draw the interlace away from you. Maybe heel toeing that left foot out a little bit to the left. Exhale, humble warrior, body to the inside of the left leg. Drawing that left hip back in space. Notice if the left hip's popping out to the left, drawing it energetically back in space. Once more, crown of the head is dropping towards the mat. The interlace is drawing up over our head. Really beautiful. Keep breathing through this strength through your legs, this strong warrior pose. You've got it, you've got it, you've got it. Soften through neck, through jaw. On your next inhale, a kind of little halfway lift. Coming onto the ball of the right foot, weight into left foot. Warrior three, we're flying, keeping the interlace if possible. If not, taking your hands to prayer at heart center. That is perfect, that's more than enough. Breathing through the balance. Notice if you're holding the breath. Notice if there's a tightness or restriction through the body. Let it flow. Can you lift the heart space a little bit higher? One more inhale here. You've got it. Exhale, dropping the right toes back to our high lunge. Keep the interlace opening up through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, take your hands up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, cactusing the arms, open up wide. Inhale here. Exhale, easy twist, right hand down, peeling that fingertips up towards the sky, grow tall, grow long. Exhale, framing that front left foot at the top of the mat, step back to your high plank and flow it through your vinyasa. Inhale, open through the heart, shine forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, push the hips up and back. Can you find stillness for a moment? We'll take an inhale through the nose together. Exhale a sigh out through the mouth, let it go. Find stillness. Feel heat, feel energy, feel shifting, rippling through the body, maybe this sense of vibrancy, aliveness. You're in the center of all of this whirlpool of movement going on inside of you and around you within this bubble you've created. Walking your hands towards your feet at the back of the mat rather, rolling all the way up to standing, root to rise, rolling the shoulders back, reach your arms up over your head, maybe a little bit more of a back bend, inhale, and exhale, refold all the way down towards the mat, walking yourself back out to your high plank. Let's just hold it here for a moment. Inhale here, draw the pit of the belly in and up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take an inhale through the nose together. And exhale a sigh out through the mouth. And we're going to take 3 rolls through. So inhale, we roll forward to our high plank and we take it further. Drop the hips down, hover them off the mat. Up dog, inhale, squeezing your bottom. And exhale, push the hips up and back, down dog. Twice more, maybe a bit quicker. Inhale, roll forward, high plank, go further. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Final time, take it further, open through heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Drop the knees down wherever you are. Come to sit on your heels. Take the backs of your hands to your thighs, palms up towards the sky. Close down the eyes. And again, resist that urge to fidget, to shift, to move, to touch your hair, your face, your clothes. Just sit in the middle of all of the movement, the shifting, the energy. Come back to your breath. Come back to the beat of your heart. And taking this moment in stillness to check in, not check out. Notice if the mind wanders. Notice if the voice in the mind becomes a little bit louder. Come back to breath. Come back to noticing how you're feeling. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Maybe there's an aliveness, a sense of vitality, a sense of feeling almost colorful and vibrant. Let's take an inhale through the nose together and exhale a sigh out through the mouth. And just opening up your eyes. We're coming to our puppy pose now. So come back to that tabletop we found at the start of our practice and just walk the hands forward to the top edges of the mat. Either the forehead comes down to the mat, that is more than enough. Or if you have space, perhaps chin and chest come down. And even if you usually do this and it feels uncomfortable today, just stick with the forehead. That is literally perfect. It's such a strong opener, forehead. Chin and chest is opening up through the heart space, the back of the shoulders. The hips are stacked above the knees. And just keep breathing. Melting heart. See if you can slightly let go. It's strong, but can you let go? Can you melt? Can you surrender a little bit more into this heart opener? And breathe. Soften through the muscles in the face. One more inhale here. One more exhale. And gently just bringing yourself back up, walking the hands towards you, coming to sit back on your heels once more. Take your hands to your kneecaps and finding a rounding through the spine here, chin tucks into chest. Maybe a sigh out through the mouth. And just rolling onto one side and taking your legs out in front of you for a moment. And we're coming down onto our back, planting the feet into the mat, taking your hands out in front of you, just rolling down, all the way down towards the mat, taking it slow, engaging the core. Can you go even slower? Taking it down. And then lying the body down on the mat, hugging your knees into your chest. We're just going to take a little moment on our backs here in a twist. Hug the knees into the chest, or maybe take your hands to cactus straight away and just rock those hips side to side. So we're not taking it over to right or left, just this gentle rocking, massaging out of the back body, the spine. Maybe you'll allow your shoulders to roll a little bit further down your back. Can you create more space from that bottom of your earlobe to the top of your shoulders? And then dropping those knees over to the right, head goes to the left. Just a couple of breaths here. Keeping the knees stacked on top of each other, or perhaps taking a bind if that feels good. We'll just be here for a moment. Soften through the face. Soften through the tongue as it pressed against the roof of the mouth. One more breath here. On your next inhale, draw those knees back to center, and then just gently dropping them over towards the left, maybe shifting the hips to the right, looking over your right shoulder, supine twist, just gentle wringing out of the spine like you're wringing out this wet dishcloth. Breathe into what you can feel. Come back to breath, come back to body. For these final few moments, can you just allow yourself to be in your yoga practice? You've taken this time of respite to step away from the day. Really allow yourself to step away from the day. The to-do list, the worries and the stresses will sadly all be there when we step off our mat. Taking this time to just step back from it all. Time we deserve. And just hugging your knees back to center now and give them a quick squeeze in center. And just gently rock and rolling up and down the length of the spine, maybe a couple of times. And just bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide, hands towards your feet. Let's open up through the heart space once more. I like to take my fingers, peace fingers, round my big toes, opening up through the heart. Maybe a gentle smile on the lips. And exhale, we'll just fold over the legs for a moment. In this fold, I do like to bring my forearms down to the mat, the palms up towards the sky. But you do not have to do this at all. If you want to stay upright, if you want to stay pretty seated, then that is all good as well. Perhaps closing down the eyes wherever you are. Maybe there's a gentle sway side to side. Maybe you're in stillness. Allow the head to hang heavy. Allow the spine to round. This folding in, these moments of introspection at the beginning and end of our practice, sandwiching all of the movement with this stillness and turning inwards. One more inhale here together. One more exhale here together. And gently, 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 just drawing yourself back up to seated. Take your fingertips behind you for one tiny little heart opener just to finish. Fingertips face away from you, open up through the heart, drawing the shoulder blades together, drawing the elbows towards the center line. Open through the heart space, finding this sense of lightness, and inhale here. And an exhale, just drawing yourself back to a more neutral position and just finding a seat. You can come to cross-legged, you could sit back on your block, finding a seat that works for you. And finishing how we began. Hands to your thighs, hands to your knees, palms facing down. Closing down the eyes if they aren't closed already, or maybe taking that soft, unfocused gaze down in front of you. Find stillness. Find your breath. Maybe noticing how it feels a tiny bit easier to sit in stillness than it did at the start of our practice. Noticing this slower pace, this ability to be still, this ability to turn down the volume of the mind and the thoughts. And then just noticing any shifts, physically, mentally, emotionally, to when you stepped on the mat at the beginning of the practice. And bringing your left hand to your heart space, the center of your chest, and placing your right hand on top. Gently just pressing both palms into this center of you, your heart, the center of your chest. And dropping into this space energetically, emotionally. How does it feel? Maybe there's a sense of openness, of lightness, just a glimmer. than when you stepped on the mat. And maybe not, and maybe you don't feel that shift at all, and that's also okay. Whatever you're feeling, you're listening to it, there's an awareness there, and that's what's most important. And turning up the corners of your mouth into a smile, just as we did at the start of the practice, and once more just noticing what that does inside the body energetically. And we'll take an inhale through the nose together. Exhale a sigh out through the mouth. And bringing your hands together in prayer at heart center. And bringing that prayer to your third eye space between your eyebrows, bowing your head to your heart, to yourself, to this practice. Thank yourself for getting on the mat, and thank you so, so much for practicing with me. For this practice, we say Namaste.